Hello everyone, and welcome to a quick video explaining tax expressions. So you may be wondering, what is a tax expression? Well, a tax expression, usually if you're going to a store and you're buying something, say you're buying a car, yes, that's my version of a car, it costs a certain amount of money, yeah? So let's say it costs $5,000. Well, if I tell you Florida has a 7% sales tax, usually what you do is you take the original cost, okay? So $5,000 times your 7% as a decimal, which is 0.07. And when you go ahead and you multiply that, so that's 5,000 times 0.07, that gives you 350. So you know that when you go to the store to buy this car, you're going to spend $350 in tax, or you're going to spend in total your $5,000 for the car, plus $350 in tax for a total of $5,350. Now, that's how finding out how much you pay usually works. But sometimes you won't get the initial amount of the car. They won't tell you how much the car costs. So instead of asking you to give them a number, what they're instead asking you to do is give them an expression. This is how it works. Let's go to our first example. Example 1. If Gabriel goes to the store and buys a car for Y dollars, and Florida has a 7% sales tax, write an expression to find out how much Gabriel paid in tax for his car. So once again, the way you would set this up usually, you would set up your original amount, yeah? So your original cash amount. Oh, I'm so sorry, not sure what I did there. Original cash amount. You would multiply that times the percentage as a decimal, and that would equal the amount of money paid in tax, right? Remember, we are specifically looking for how much Gabriel paid in tax, so we're only looking for the tax. Now here, as you can see, we don't have an original amount. They're telling us it's Y dollars. So let's go ahead and let's put the original amount as Y. Okay, we don't know it yet, but we know it's going to be Y, whatever that is. Y dollars times 7% as a decimal. Okay, so if we take 7% and we turn that into a decimal, we move the decimal point 2 spaces to the left. That becomes 0.07%. I'm sorry, not percent. 0.07. So Y times 0.07. Sorry. Y equals 0.07 will tell us how much Gabriel paid in tax. That's it. All you're doing, what you would normally do, is take the original amount and multiply it times your percentage as a decimal. Here, since you don't have the original amount, you're putting whatever letter they told you fills in for the original amount. It's actually easier because you don't have to do any math, you just have to set up the problem. Let's move on to another example. If Juana goes to the store and buys a book for X dollars, so here, the original amount is going to be X, okay? So the original amount is X dollars. And Alabama has a 26% sales tax. Write an expression to find out how much Juana paid in tax. So here, once again, we're just looking for the tax. So I'm going to do my original amount times my percentage as a decimal, which should equal the amount of money you paid in tax. So this is going to be X times, remember that you can use this symbol for multiplication, but you can also use a dot in the middle for multiplication as well. So X times my percentage as a decimal, well, 26%, I can take the decimal point, move it 2 spots to the left, that's 0.26. So X times 0.26 will equal how much tax I paid. That's it. I set up my expression. My original amount times my percentage as a decimal. That's it. X times 0.26. Let's move on to another kind of example. For this example, if Kayla went to the Mad Science Emporium to buy a shrink ray for Z dollars, well, This is not cooperating. Now it is. For Z dollars. So the original amount is going to be Z. And the state of Wisconsin has a sales tax of 13%. All right. So it's going to be the original amount times the percent as a decimal. Okay. So 13%. Move it 2 spots to the left, 0.13. So that's going to be times 0.13. Okay, looks like we're done. Let's keep on reading. Write an expression to find out how much Kayla paid in total. They're trying to trick you. We don't want, remember, original times your percentage as a decimal will equal how much money you paid in tax. We don't want tax. They're specifically asking us for the total. So if they want the amount of money that was paid in total, we're going to have to switch this up a bit. Instead of making our percentage as a decimal, we're going to have to do 100% plus your percentage as a decimal. Why, Mr. Pearson? Why do we do that? Well, your original amount is 100%, always. That percentage stays the same, regardless of however much money it is. So when you're multiplying, if you go ahead and instead of doing it Z times 0.13, that would only give you the amount of tax you paid. If you do your original 100% plus the 13%, that's going to show you how much money you paid in total, how much the shrink rate costs, plus the tax, whatever the tax is, okay? So let me show you how this would work. You already found out that 13% as a decimal is 0.13. When you take 100% as a decimal, you move the decimal point over 1, 2, that's 1. All you have to do is add these together. 0.13 plus 1 is 1.13. Voila, you have your answer. If you're trying to find the total, it's going to be your variable, Z, times 1.13 for this particular case. Let's move on to our final example. Okay, if Mr. Borrego went to the flea market and he bought a scale model of the Supreme Court for $B, oh, wrong color, for $B, and the state of Alaska has a 5% sales tax, write an expression to find out how much Mr. Borrego paid in total for his scale of the Supreme Court model. So once again, I'm going to set it up. No math. All I have to do is set it up. My original amount in dollars times my 100% plus the percent as a decimal. And remember, I have to do this. I have to add the 100% because it's asking for the total. Very small step to remember. Equals how much money you paid in total. Okay? So the original amount here is $B. So it's going to be B times, remember that you can use this sign or this sign for times. Either one works. B times 100% as a decimal plus 5% as a decimal. Well, 100%, we move the decimal point over 2 times. That's 1. Plus 5%, we move the decimal point over 2 times. That's 0.05. 1 plus 0.05 is 1.05. So B times 1.05 is what you need to find the answer. That's how much what you'll use to find out how much Mr. Borrego paid in total for his model. I hope this video helps. I don't want to make it too much longer. Okay? Bye.